Welcome back, brewers and beer lovers, to Flying Wombat TV, the channel all about beer, banter, and bloody good times. And today, we are finally going to find out if we made a better beer than better beer. So, let's get into pouring. Let's get some beers going, and then
a better beer than better beer.
We'll find out. We'll find
not
out.
hard to do.
Honestly, it's not hard. Despite for the Americans out there who haven't tried this, despite what the name suggests, this is just commercial crap. With some very funny frontmen who I love, but the beer is
subpar.
Yeah. Anyway, let's pour some stuff.
Cue montage.
We're back. We got beers, and for the first time on any of these beer battles, they look extremely similar. So this is better beer, and then this is our beer.
Yeah.
The color is
pretty much the same.
It's basically the same. Difference is clarity.
Yeah.
So ours, obviously being a better beer than better beer, we haven't added
we'll see.
heaps of finings and everything to clear it out, and it's all much more natural, I suppose.
That's the biggest difference of this. The color-wise, it's all the same. It's just clarity.
Guess we should have one in there for
promo reasons.
For promo reasons. Not that we're getting paid. Now
we're just gonna trash talk.
So if we haven't said it already, the idea behind this wasn't just to make a better beer than better beer. The idea behind it was to make a really low carb lager. So try to make a healthy beer, as healthy as beers can get. And whilst it didn't hit 0 carbs, it's very, very low. So should I say now or should we taste first?
Yeah, just say it.
Say now? Okay, so based on my maths, we hit an estimated carbs in this of 4.7 grams of carbs for every beer, which is very, very low. So for context, better beers is zero because they use, I'm guessing,
zero sugar.
Yeah, and I'm guessing they use a lot of enzymes to make this thing really finish out dry. This one we used, I think it was 10 mils of glucoamylase to help dry it out. But I reckon if I bumped it up to say 20 mils of glucoamylase, this thing would have finished out fully
This is
dry.
like a craze at the moment to have a 0 carb beer.
And for context, Heineken, carbohydrates, Heineken, 10 grams of carbs per Heineken. So this is lower carb than a Heineken. So if you do want to make a super low carb beer, do check out this brew day because, spoiler alert, I've already tasted this one. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah. All right. Should we? Which one first?
Start with better beer.
Better beer. Cheers.
Oh.
Haven't had one in a while.
It's lager. So the thing with better beer is that there's no one bad flavor in it. It's just that there are so few flavors. It's extremely one-dimensional. Like you've kind of got.
It tastes like a watered-down beer, to be honest.
It's because, and that's partly because it is like 0 carbs and it's finished out super dry. It's really lacking body, which is hard when you're going for a low carb beer. It's always going to have that issue.
Incredibly light.
It's incredibly light. It does taste like a watery beer. It's got like a level of crispness to it. It's got kind of like a lemony-esque flavor, something vaguely floral, and then that's kind of it. And
it feels like a Corona. Like it needs a lime or lemon in it.
I reckon it's got less flavor than a Corona.
I think I'd prefer a Corona with the lime in it.
I'd go a Corona over better beer. It's just super one-dimensional, which is fine. Like if you just want to smash a beer on a really hot day, just finish mowing the lawn or something, that'll quench your thirst. It'll do the job. It's just if you want something with more complexity, it's just not the beer to go for.
Let's try ours.
Let's try ours. Here we go. Cheers, man. Okay, so after trying this, this one, which is, by the way, not like my most complex beer ever, it tastes like a symphony. There's so many things happening.
It's got a bit of bitterness to it compared to this.
It's got more bitterness than this.
Not a lot,
but there's more. There's just more going on. So it opens with bitterness as soon as it hits your tongue. Then it's got layers of citrus. It's kind of got this kind of earthy pungentness to it, in a small amount, in a pleasant amount, and then it kind of finishes sort of floral. It's And it's kind of got that flavor that is more akin to like a European lager than say a more New World style of Pilsner, which has more fruity esters from the yeast. This particular one was made with Saf Lager yeast. There's S23 and I think there's W37 is the other one.
We'll put it somewhere.
Somewhere up there. Anyway, I haven't really played with that yeast too much because I generally like to lean into those fruity esters from a lager yeast. But for this one, the idea was to make like a classic lager style, just low carb. So I thought that was a more appropriate yeast for the job. And it does definitely make a big difference. So I'd love to in future do a split batch lager where one is with S23, one's with W35, 37, whatever it's called, and literally see what the difference is just based on the yeast alone. But that's a future brew day that we'll do at some point. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's got a good body. There's more body compared to
There's a lot more
better
body.
beer.
There's a lot more body.
And you can taste the bitterness. It's coming through more. This one barely has any bitterness.
Body is such a tricky one with low carb because the body comes from...
Compared to this, it's actually got body.
like because the whole thing with low carb
Not like a stout though.
Oh, no, nowhere near. The thing with low carb is you're going to try and eat up any residual sugars because you're trying to make sure there's no sugar, no carbs left. But in doing so, the body vanishes as well. So it's really hard to get that balance right. I think this is pretty on the money. Like, theoretically, I could just add more glucoamylase and more alpha amylase next time and actually make this thing 0 carbs.
Yeah.
But I also like to enjoy my beer. Like, I want it to be low carb for the purpose of the video.
It actually tastes good as well.
I actually want to enjoy it.
That's the hard thing with a no carb beer. It's like you diminish the flavor as well.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. It almost doesn't become a beer anymore.
Yeah. Like this one, I think it kind of hits the mark. So, for stats purposes, this came out at 4.66%, so round up to 4.7, 116 total possible calories. So potentially could be lower than that, but I won't know without doing any lab work.
Better beer is 4.2.
Total maximum remaining carbohydrates would be 6.9, but a more accurate reading is probably 4.7 grams of carbs per schooner. So yeah, like all in all, pretty low carb.
Yeah, pretty low carb beer.
pretty low carb, low calorie.
I was trying to hold that in. But you would have seen my face distorting. I can't hold it sneezing.
Bitterness is like medium, I would say, for a lager. It's not the most bitter lager I've ever had, not the most bitter lager I've ever made, but at the same time, it's not like drinking watered down beer where there's no bitterness. I kind of like that though, because you need something to remind you it's beer. Otherwise, it's just like, I don't know. I like a little bit of bitterness in my lagers. You guys tell me what you think about that, but I feel like a good lager should have a level of bitterness because that bitterness helps with the crispness.
This feels so weak when you go back to this.
Yeah, I don't really like it. It's just watery. It's so watery. It just reminds me of like going to like a footy game, like a game of football or something in a stadium, and they only offer like one beer, and it's a real crap beer. It's like the only thing you get, so you have it.
I'd rather take Colton over this, to be honest, or Tui.
I would, even it's got more flavor.
Yeah.
But something I do want to do is compare this to Heineken. So we're going to do a quick cut, and I'll come back in a second with another glass. And we're back and we're pouring. So, Heineken is not a low carb beer. It's not what they're trying to do. But the reason I want to taste against this is because Heineken
is like a normal lager.
It's like a normal lager. And
commercial lager.
As far as commercial lagers go, it's a pretty good beer. Like, I don't mind Heineken. I would very happily drink it. So I'm curious about
Smells way different.
How this would stack up against this. So which one do I want to go for? I'll taste mine first. Okay, all right.
I got better beer.
They're not dissimilar. I think the biggest difference is in the aftertaste, actually. And this would be just an unknown yeast that I don't know what the yeast is. And I think Heineken goes on about having like a specialty yeast that no one else has.
What malts do you reckon?
They call it their A strain. That's right. Special A yeast, which like no one knows what that A yeast is. I don't know what malts, I don't know what hops, I don't know what's in it. But
Heineken's a quality lager.
It is a quality commercial
decent
lager.
Good but commercial lager.
I think, well, here's the head-to-head decision. I'm going to be biased on this one because I'm so convinced my one's better. Did I finally win a beer battle?
I think so.
All right, does this count as 2 wins because I beat Heineken and better beer?
I think it's pretty even
What?
between Heineken and your beer, maybe. It's a bit different.
They are quite different. They're similar but different. Same but different.
Bit more hoppiness coming through our lager, I reckon.
There is.
Yeah.
This one's got less hop character. This one's got more hop character. This one's slightly less bitter. Heineken's slightly less
Yeah.
bitter. Mine's slightly more bitter. There's more body on mine. There's less body on the Heineken. I think, look, if I was gonna vote, I'd vote for my one. I like a little bit of substance to my beers. Mine has a bit more substance than the Heineken.
Yeah.
And it has less
Yeah, I
calories and less carbs, so I'm healthy.
I think I'll go with yours.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
2-0.
2-1. 2-1?
Well, I won 2 today.
Ah, no. That's 1.
Okay, then it's 2-1. Okay, I've still got to catch up to do. So who have I lost to? I've lost to the ChatGPT and I've lost to Bolter.
Bolter.
But I beat Better Beer. So, the tagline.
Yeah.
We made a better beer than better beer. But overall, it's pretty smashable.
That's all good.
Like, I've been having this.
Sessionable.
Yeah, I've been having this. Like, it's starting to get hotter in Australia again. I've been having this in the hotter days and it's kind of great.
It's a summer beer.
It is a summer beer, yeah. Okay, cool. Anyway,
Cheers.
I finally won one of these bloody beer battles.
I know.
Cheers, guys. If you guys have made a low carb lager or low carb beer in general, low calorie
Suggest
beer,
a recipe as well.
yeah, tell us a recipe. Let us know your experience with it. Let us know how you've gone about trying to reduce the calories or the carbs or whatever it is that you're trying to do. But anyway, guys, cheers. Thanks for watching. Happy brewing, and we'll catch you next time.
Cheers.
Salud.